We are back to the strip till bar. We did not get it loaded the other night. And so that is the first thing on the agenda. Get this thing loaded down. We've got this 114 acres to finish. I've got about 50, maybe 60 acres done. And then we're gonna hop across the street and start doing our beans, which should go a lot quicker because our rate is cut in half basically, which is not a good thing. But fertilizer is just so stinking expensive. So we cut that rate in half for this year. But I'm gonna be able to do about 60 acres every time I load, so I should be able to fly through our bean acres. And so I'm hoping to get the fertilizer wagon filled over there while I'm finishing up here. And that way, as soon as I get done here, I can just hop over there and just have at it. Hopefully I can get that wagon empty tonight so I can get it home because it's supposed to rain. So we'll see what happens, but that's the plan for today. It's actually warm out today. Can you believe it? It was so cold that it set a 2-inch frost into the ground and now it's 55 degrees. We're ready to go. We haven't even started yet, and I already found a problem. Well, I don't think it's broken, it's just bent and got taken out of there. So we'll have to fix that quickly. Well, that was easy. If we have any breakdowns, just keep them looking like that and we'll be fine. Once we get down to the end, we'll turn around and see what kind of job we're doing. We've got to be doing a better job than we were yesterday, because it's been so warm. I think the frost is pretty much out of the ground by now. Maybe it's down to an inch, you know, but it's definitely better than yesterday. This isn't hours later. I just took my hoodie off. We're at the end of the road now. Gonna see what kind of job we're doing. These are looking miles better. It's still a little chunky, but he is coming back to hit this with the ammonia bar, so he'll bust some of this stuff up, but it is actually making a berm now instead of just pulling up clods and leaving a slit through the ground. I've at least got some cover and it's busting it up real nice despite how cold it is, but looks a lot better. I'm happy. Almost lost my water. So we've made it quite a ways back up here filling, I think for the last time, but I'm gonna go ahead and check, make sure everything's okay on the bar. Make sure all the bolts are still in place and make sure I don't got anything broke. I didn't even make it to the first, this is literally the first row, and that bolt's broken. This guy looks like he's about ready to come off. That means running back home and grabbing some bolts. So I'll go ahead and check the rest of the bar, but I definitely need one. So Probably gonna have to go home, like I said, grab some bolts and get that fixed, because I do not want that row unit totally coming apart on me. That would not be a good day. It's happened to me before.
But they didn't have enough nuts.
We got everything we need. We got the bolts, we got the impact, we got the wrenches, the sockets, everything that we need to possibly put that thing back together. I also grabbed the grease gun because it hasn't been greased in a little bit, a couple days anyway. I grabbed that just in case, a couple tubes. We're just gonna go over that thing and make sure that it is spick and span. Hopefully I can do it by myself. I shouldn't have to lift that one row unit too much. I'm hoping I can just lower the machine and get it lined up to the holder where I can get that bolt out and put a new one back in. If not, I grabbed a bar so that I could lift it by hand and hopefully wiggle it around a little bit to make sure that goes in there, but we'll just find out. I'm gonna go ahead and get this wagon moved off of my anhydrous because I'm gonna be putting them on soon, so it needs to move out of the way. Everything should be kosher. Time to rock and roll. Except my fan's not turned on. That might help. My strips are looking miles better. This morning they weren't the best, but I knew as time went on it was going to keep heating up and things were going to get looking a little better, which they have. It's been about 60 degrees today. We've probably got about 15 acres or so left, and then the anhydrous. So this load should get us finished. And then we're going to move over to the beans, yeah, on the corn stubble over there, across from the house, across the road, and we're gonna see how far we can't get. I don't know if I'm gonna run until I'm basically got that wagon empty, which would mean after 1 o'clock, but tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I guess I can be tired during Thanksgiving. It's a lot easier to do that than to be exhausted while you're in the tractor. All right, we were all but done except for the anhydrous, and of course it's dark. It's 6 o'clock, so always when I go to put anhydrous on, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I set up an auto steer track. Now that I'm putting auto steer on the anhydrous, I can show you that. So we're gonna come over here to the monitor. We'll go ahead and go to quick change guidance. This is where we can change what track we're using, so I can quickly flip back and forth between tracks. We're gonna go to an A-B curve because I'm gonna be turning around the ends and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a new track. I'll call this Penner. We have our new monitor with touchscreen and stuff sitting at the local dealership. We just haven't put it on yet. So I still have the scroll wheel. Okay. Penner Northwest Anhydrous. It's gonna pop up on this screen. It's gonna tell you to record an A-B curve track. So you just start recording and drive the track. So I'm gonna hit this A. It's gonna push the record, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just drive my ends, which I've got to go a long ways, all the way back there. So I'm gonna go ahead and drive the track now after I hit record. I'll hit A now. Boom, it's recording. Now I'll go ahead and drive. Okay, we are down to the end. So we'll come here and now we'll hit stop. Just like that. And it will start generating that curve that I just made. I always go to use the touch screen and I gotta tell myself that that doesn't work. Okay, it's finally done generating enough paths. So we're gonna go ahead and hit auto steer on. That third piece just showed up down here. Now I can turn around and just start using my auto steer on the end rows. What I'm gonna do is, since I came around the field this way, I'm gonna go ahead and skip a row and come back this way. That way when I get back to the other end, I can fill in this right next to it so that I got my 16 rows to match my planter. Okay, let's try her out. Skip a row. Should work there. Okay. We are rolling. Well, we are finally done with that field. Now we are on to corn stalks. No more bean stubble. I'll actually be able to see my rows, and we're gonna be able to run a long time because we are cutting the rate back half, or we should zip right through this stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get loaded. I'm gonna run for quite a while tonight. There's another 120 here I gotta do on the beans, so about to start in on the corn stalks. Basically with the beans, I don't want to be running my shank directly on the corn stalks. So now instead of my seat being between the rows, it's going to be on the row to shift it over 15 inches. I want to be running the shanks between the rows now. The reason I was running my shanks on the bean stubble is because beans actually leave nitrogen in the ground. And so if you run that shank, those strips directly on that bean stubble, you'll have nitrogen there from the beans for the corn next year. He's already got a track made from the last couple years. I'm going to go ahead and use his. All I've got to do is take off here for a second and center my track. Go ahead and get lined up where I want to be, right about there. Go ahead and hit center track. Let's see where that takes us. Oh, well, apparently I brought the baler with me tonight. You know, my dad said, hey Jay, just so you know, that stuff piles up in the corn stalks. When it starts doing that, it's a problem. You can't see it when it starts. And of course, the one time I'm on the phone, that's when it starts to pile up. And that was bad. Now I gotta go dig that out. This crop was massive this year, and so the trash from this crop, this corn crop, is enormous. There's just so much residue out here, and so we kind of figured we might have issues with it piling up on the strip till bar, but that is bad. That's really bad. Oh, I'm making a mess. It's piled up behind the bar as well. Oh, it's a disaster. I cannot see. There's so much trash in this field. Oh my goodness. What a disaster. Well, that was fun. Well, I made it 3 feet and the stupid thing plugged again. I would say the stalks are getting damp and they're just wadding up. I'm going home. I'm not dealing with this.